An invitation to the Ishayas Teaching, presented by Teachers of Ascension.
What is ascension? Please do not believe anything we say here. This is a teaching based on experience, your experience. No amount of words can do it justice. Experience it yourself, then decide if what we say here is the truth. The Ishayas Ascension is a series of natural and effortless techniques to expand the mind and heart permanently. We call this procedure ascension. Ascension is not a belief system. It's not a new set of rules to govern your life by. It is a series of mechanical techniques to ascend, which simply means to rise beyond the limiting beliefs and behavior patterns that are blocking us from realizing our full potential. Simply put, ascension provides a means to achieve the goal of human life on this planet. What is this goal? Why don't you tell me? Think about it. What do you want? If your answer is something like $1 million, the perfect job, or the perfect mate, go a little deeper. What you really want is what you think those things will give you. For example, you may think that having lots of money will make you happy, or that if you find the perfect mate, you can then experience love. Underneath this, what you really want is not the money or the mate. What you really want is the happiness, the love. You're only guessing that having money or this other perfect person will fulfill these desires. Time and time again, people have received exactly what they've thought they've wanted, lots of money, the perfect mate or the perfect job, only to find that something was still missing. A Course in Miracles states, "Behind the search for every idol lies the yearning for completion." Wholeness has no form because it is unlimited. The world is constantly changing. As long as we are looking for someone else or something else to take a special form on the outside in order for us to be happy or feel love, we will constantly be disappointed. It is only by looking inside for the truth that we realize our wholeness. From this place, all desires are fulfilled. Have you ever asked yourself, who am I? Why am I here? What is the meaning of life? What is my purpose? You know, all the big questions. This curiosity and these desires to know are all completely natural. In fact, they're built in purposely by our Creator. Even as young children, we want to know who we are and why we're here. I saw a young child in the store the other day. She was expressing desperately from the bottom of her heart, crying, "Why? Why? Why?" It didn't even matter what she was crying about. What that scene drove home for me was how deep the desire to know the truth is in all of us. To know who, what, and why. The amount of importance you place on seeking the answers to these questions influences the decisions you make. Decisions that will eventually lead your life down such a path that will allow you to fully awaken into your true self. When this is done, all questions will be answered and all desires fulfilled. Modern psychologists are understanding this more every day. Many are now saying that our mental and physical health depend on how much importance we place on seeking the truth to these eternal questions. Dr. M. Scott Peck, a psychiatrist, speaks of this in his book, The Road Less Traveled. He says, "We must always hold truth to be more vital to our self-interest than our comfort. Conversely, we must always consider our personal discomfort relatively unimportant and indeed even welcome it in the search for truth."
Where can we find the truth? We turn to our religions, therapists, and all types of self-help practices and spiritual disciplines in hopes of answering these eternal questions. Most of these end up being distractions only. At best, they make us feel better while we're being distracted. At their worst, they attempt to make us feel guilty for asking such questions or for having these natural desires for love in the first place. Where does this leave us? This state is described well in the Abraham Hicks tapes. There is no greater hell than the emotion of guilt regarding something that you have done. That's how I felt. Nothing had meaning anymore. I felt empty and alone, with no purpose. The disappointment I found with the above approaches is that there is a lot of talk and ideas about how people think things really are, but no experience of it. They're not experiencing more of life for themselves, yet they're telling us how to live. It's insane. They tell us how to think, act, and feel, most of which is based on what some other person said or what some book says. It's all speculation, trial and error, and we are the guinea pigs. In my case, I saw no one as a living example lighting the way to the life I wanted. Why would anyone want to do something that has not worked and is not working for anyone else? Such teachings have become words and ideas only. Words and ideas are worthless next to experience. When we follow the advice of another, usually it's with the hope of experiencing something better for ourselves. When we see that our teachers are just mouthing words and concepts that they aren't experiencing for themselves, we lose trust in them and seek elsewhere. A Course in Miracles states, "A universal theology is impossible, but a universal experience is not only possible, but necessary. Here alone consistency becomes possible, because here alone uncertainty ends." We will never find the answers in any belief system or doctrine. It's only a direct personal experience of the truth that will shed light on these eternal questions. This is what the Ishayas teaching is all about, experience. Well, what is this experience? Good question. It doesn't matter where you are from, how old you are, or what kind of cultural or societal upbringing you've had. There is an experience that is the eternal, unchanging truth of who we are. It is constant for everyone. It does not change. It is a human experience, uninfluenced by age, sex, religion, or country borders. This experience has many different names depending on one's background, but the experience is universal. Some of these names are Samadhi, the transcendent, the void, the Tao, and the peace that passes all understanding. Some call it the good. We call it the ascendant. Whether you want a happy, stress-free life or to expand your consciousness to the highest degree of enlightenment, what you call it doesn't matter. What does matter is that you experience it. It is impossible to adequately describe this experience using words, but this quote from Rumi begins to paint the picture.
Out beyond ideas of wrongdoings and right doings, there is a field. I'll meet you there.
The ascendant is the source. It is the field of infinite creativity, joy, love, and bliss. Lives have been completely changed and entire belief systems have been created from just one glimpse, one tiny little taste of this universal experience that we call the ascendant. Uniting with the ascendant is the goal of human life. The problem has been that people can slip into this experience without knowing how they got there. Then they slip out of it without knowing how to get back. This is what the ascension techniques address. We call them ascension attitudes. They are vehicles that consistently take our awareness to the ascendant, to that universal experience. With the ascension attitudes, you will have a reliable means to experience the ascendant whenever you choose. The more you experience this more expanded state, the more you will want to experience it. This simple choice is how we reduce stress and realize our enlightened status. Realizing enlightenment is the goal of human life.
Take time to seek out the Ishayas and learn for yourself these mechanical techniques to transform life. Your life will unfold and blossom in ways you never dreamed possible.